Welcome to Nommo, from West Africa to West End Atlanta. Nommo is a concept from the Dogon people of Mali. These are individuals that live in the cliffs, and this concept literally means the power of the spoken word. Throughout Africa, most knowledge is transmitted orally, meaning there's someone that's apprenticing under someone else, or transmitted orally from a parent to a child, from a griot or a jolly or a jelly who's training another jelly. This oral transmission of knowledge has also made its way across the Atlantic Ocean in the traditions of African people in the African diaspora. Nommo, the power of the spoken word. This unique way African people talk worldwide, that when we think about Africans in West Africa, the tradition of a griot or the tradition of a jelly is ancient. When UNESCO went to Africa in the early 1970s, what took place was they began to gather these jellies or these oral historians together. And they were individuals that could put together the entire history of the Mali Empire by memory. They had been trained by other griots, by other jellies, by other jollies. This particular tradition is maintained by men and women. From the 16th through the 19th century, Africans were forcibly sent throughout the diaspora, throughout the African diaspora, to Jamaica, to Brazil, to Cuba, to Haiti, to right here in Georgia, Savannah, to right down in South Carolina, in Charleston, to Louisiana. And we brought our culture with us. We brought our means of telling stories. You can find stories right here in the Georgia South about Aunt Nancy, which is a version of an Anansi story. These stories about tricksters. You can find the stories of Brer Rabbit, Brer Hare, these different stories that were transmitted from generation to generation. So even when slavery seemed like it was the last moment of any life for African people, through that experience, an ethos was passed down from generation to generation. And the level of vitality of that music, it can't be compared to throughout the world. When you think about the fact that African people, even under the yoke of slavery, were able to create music like work songs, the blues, and what later became ragtime, and songs that would give inspiration to another type of music, the minstrels, jazz, funk, R&B, soul. It's almost like we're studying or exploring a group of people who were never enslaved. The level of continuity that we see in the creativity. And the style of that delivery is unique as well. When Western individuals from Europe heard African people singing and playing the blues and playing jazz, there was a word created called blue notes, because these notes were not common in the Western scale. Those notes were in fact foreign to Western modes of scales. These notes are not blue to African people. They are not blue to the blues singer. They're not blue to John Coltrane. They're not blue to Bessie Smith. This ethos that African people have maintained has had a unique style, even if you listen to some of the words used to name our music. Bebop, for instance, is what some scholars would label an idiophone. An idiophone is a word that kind of represents the sound of the word in the word, somewhat like zigzag. And that can be found in words like bebop, boogie woogie. The creative voice, to go back to the concept of Nommo, the creative voice of African people is unique as well. Even under the yoke of slavery, if African people, if enslaved Africans ever tried to sound white during slavery, there would be no blues. There would be no jazz scatting. There would be no hip hop. There would be no spirituals. Because all of those would be rendered in what some folks would call dialect, or what scholars in the 1970s called Ebonics. And in the classroom, they refer to this as African American Vernacular English. That we have a way that we talk that talk. Dave Chappelle said that most black folks speak two types of languages, job interview and street. And we need to know which one to use and when to use it. So this unique way of communicating would survive the journey of the Middle Passage that would usually last anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months. Once we came to these different places in the diaspora, there was one thing all enslaved Africans wanted during that first generation, and that was to go back home. But somewhere between planting and chopping, babies were born. And when those babies were born, how would we get them to want to yearn to also return? And songs grew out of those experiences. Those songs would often be work songs to just help us endure the day. Some of those songs would be reinterpretations of stories from the Old Testament that were labeled spirituals. And many of these songs and concepts and sayings were very coded. This idea of sneaking away or traveling north or crossing the River Jordan could in fact mean crossing the Ohio River in the Underground Railroad. The notion of the chariot coming forth to carry me home. Of course, earlier on, home was Africa. Then later, home would become any place other than this cotton field. So that idea of taking me somewhere else has been a very consistent theme. This idea of going back to Africa or putting me on the ship Jesus to go back to Africa. Then it would become heaven as people began to be Christianized. And this idea of escape and escapism became so consistent that you would have artists from the 1950s like Sonny Blount, who called his band the Orchestra. He said that he would help black people escape the oppression of the world by taking us to an intergalactic Egypt in another stratosphere. Parliament Funkadelic would have the same concept with their mothership. Arrested Development in the 90s said, "Take me to another place." And almost every blues singer has sung about a train that is taking us elsewhere. Because before 1910, 90% of all quote-unquote African Africans lived in the South. And when we went up north, you began to see the influence of that creativity in the North. And it's expressed in the Harlem Renaissance. It's expressed in Chicago blues. And these were migration trails. 90% of us lived in the South under debt peonage, under sharecropping conditions. When we got to the Northern Territories, new music would begin to emerge. And that music has a lineage to it. And the theme within that music is resistance. The theme within that music is freedom. The theme within our song is freedom. So during Nommo, we ask you that, won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? Won't you help us to recite poems of freedom? Join us on this journey of Nommo as we explore the creativity, the vocal creativity of African people from West Africa through the journey of the Middle Passage, through the survival of that spirit found in Africanisms and African practices that can be found here. 1739, in a neighboring state, South Carolina, or in a colony, South Carolina, there was an uprising. This uprising was led by a brother by the name of Jimmy. He hailed from the Congo-Angola area of Africa, West Central Africa. During this rebellion, he used the drum to communicate the rebellion to Africans in neighboring plantations and neighboring areas. And in the following year, because this quote-unquote slave uprising, this uprising of Africans involved the drum, there began to be this very strict rule against the drum. So this ordinance called the Negro Act in 1740 would literally outlaw the drum. During this time, African people in North America began to turn our attention, particularly in the colonies, turn our attention to string instruments like the banjo, string instruments like the violin, that which we would call the fiddle. We would play these things in our own unique style. We would even reinterpret some of the music that we heard around us. We would dance in a counterclockwise circle called the ring shout. And these would speak to our ways of remembering our ancestors, our ways of helping our ancestors live through our arts. And even though it was during slavery, many enslaved Africans knew of their superiority to anything the planters had created. Even when the planters, by way of missionaries which teach them songs, they would quickly reinterpret those songs. There were missionaries that would visit plantations that they had been to just a month before and say, "We hardly recognize the music." Why? Because African people remixed those songs and they made them unique to their own experience. So 1739 marks a critical year because the drums began to be outlawed. In places like Louisiana, where there was Congo Square, there were drums. There were drums often played on Sunday. But even that being a French territory, it would be in 1685 and again in 1724 with this concept called the Code Noir, where the French tried to suppress the expression of the drum, but the drum would continue. It would continue in us using juba padding and padding our bodies, or what we would later call boombox or the ham bone. So the resilience of African people is heard in our song, it is seen in our dance. Join us on this journey of Nommo.
In the beginning was woman, and she was African.
I am African. I was not born there. Yet it is these Africanisms, this genetic memory that motions me towards big earrings and powerful hair, gyrations to rhythm and words through stare. I am African. I was not born there. Yet it is these Africanisms that draw me to okra and rice, constellations, bonfires, and elders' advice. I am African. I was not born there. Yet it is these Africanisms that draw me to solitude and astronomy, rivers and honey. She sings me songs I've never heard, yet I find myself humming her melody, and dream state and dream awake. She is my mother, Africa is. Although I did not birth forth from her womb, I am hers and she is mine. Africa, I am African. A demonstration of the alchemy of origination. And it is these strands of her, wrapped in tight coils, coursing through capillaries that keep me in reverence of my ancestors, in gratitude of everything. In gratitude of everything. She brings me to myself. When I am lost, I look to her for leverage and love. When I am longing and unsure, I imagine her shores and become sure, and I am sure. She is the magnet with infinite pull strength that draws me towards my divinity and my destiny. Stop asking me if I'm African, because Africa is the matriarch of humanity, and Africa is born again and again through me. I am mitochondrial Eve, and I am African. Longing to sit at the feet of my elders, awaiting instruction. My life is structured in a way that keeps me focused on Africa. Eritrea colors and cloth and sounds and things I've never seen or heard. I am African. So what? I wasn't born there. We tap the bottle before we crack the bottle. Pouring out a little liquor is libation. There are remnants of my birthplace in my salutations, in my walk. There are nuances of Bantu and Igbo in my talk. I am African. No, I wasn't born there. No, I wasn't born fair. I was born stolen goods, born in the hood, born to think me and Africa were no good. Stolen, taken away. So now, I am African in a way that is new and bold. And I embolden my diasporan brethren and sistren to think back, reach back, grab back, take that which is yours rightfully, righteously, right with me, Africans. African is not a choice. It's a genetic story with a melanated origin. You are the beginning that has no end. So don't get it twisted when they ask you who you are again. Tell them, I am African.
Hey fam, this is Kenneth Zaki, and I'm about to get reflective with Masiki Scales and a Common Ground Collective. I have no choice but to lend my voice to this occasion, this Nommo spoken word from West Africa to West End Atlanta situation. I traveled to Dakar, West Africa, and I witnessed the remnants of French colonization, French bread and French cars. Nangadef, how are you? Mangi Farek, I'm fine. Mama Senegal taught me some Wolof in French, and I got used to the stench of sewage and goats when I put aside the Western in me, converted my dollars into CFAs, ate rice with my right hand, out the same plate with my brother man, all 9 of them. I stood at the doorway of no return, surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean, filled with the graves of my ancestors who never knew America. I saw brothers and sisters, blue black, true black, folks who reminded me of family and friends. I touched a baobab tree and said, look at me, African, from America, in the motherland. I delighted in the music, the dance and celebrations, music so sweet and oh so rhythmic, soothing and medicinal. Upon landing back in the USA, the red clay state, the ATL, I head to the West End, the best end. Martin Luther King Jr., Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, and Joseph Lowry and Lee Street, where the beautiful people meet to shop, socialize, and commute. Its roots in the West End, a great place to eat and get a treat. Tassili's Raw Reality, which is all of our reality, raw, soul vegetarian, holding it down for many years. Yeah, bringing about those happy tears. Helpful Essence and Yassines and Q-Time right on time. The West End, the best end. Spelman, Morehouse, and Clark, where scholars abound. Hallowed ground. The West End, the best end, home of the annual Malcolm X Fest, a family reunion celebrating Malcolm X from dawn to dusk. It's a must to check out the West End, the best end of Atlanta. The West End, the best end where culture thrives, where you really feel alive. Music so sweet and oh so rhythmic. That's what you'll find at Gallery 992, where me, you, and the music crew make it do what it do. In the West End, the best end. Well, all right then, can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? It's the West End, the best end, and the Red Place Slate, and the ATL. I want all y'all to tell. The West End is the best end. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? The West End, the best end. From West Africa to West End Atlanta, from Atlanta West End to Africa, Nommo, spoken word. Haven't you heard the power of the word? Nommo, 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 the power of the spoken word. From West Africa to the West End Atlanta, ATL. Now you just go ahead on and tell.
My name is Tosinga, singer, songwriter, and African folktale storyteller. I didn't see you there, but now you are. I'm so happy you're able to join us. come all the way from West Africa to West End, from Nigeria specifically, to the ATL. The ATL is where I call home. Home. Home is where the heart is. Home. Home. Home is where the heart is. 1,000 times a day, the mind must escape the desert of illusion. 1,000 times a day, flowing through our hearts is the river of inspiration. Home. Home is where the heart is. I am an African folktale storyteller, keeping the tradition of storytelling going. Tales by moonlight, but for now, it's tales by screenlight. So thank you once again for joining us. Speaking of home, I have a story to tell you. So grab a cup of tea or coffee or whatever you fancy and join me. When I say alo, you reply alo. Alo means story. So I'm calling you to listen. Alo! Story, story, story. I said story, story. You say story. Story, story, story. Once upon a time, in the animal kingdom, where all the animals used to live in the forest, there were the lions, the monkeys, the gorillas, all the animals lived in the forest. Now, the title of the story is about the deer and the jaguar. Again, the title of the story is The Deer and the Jaguar. On this lovely afternoon, the deer was having a walk through the animal kingdom. And then he thought to himself, what would it be like to actually build a house for myself that I can call home? So he started thinking, and then he started praying to the goddess of the river. And then in the distance, he heard the sound of waterfall. The land was green ahead. The trees and the flowers were blooming. That must be the promised land, he said. This is such a lovely place to build a house. Real estate. Location, location, location. And so he went and he prayed to the goddess of the river to bless as he's about to build a house. And so he gathered all the leaves and all the straws and all the sticks and started layering and building and layering and building. And then he got to a point and he was like, I think I'm gonna retire for the day and take a break. And so he goes. And the same day, the jaguar was also having a walk. He said, I think I need to build a house for myself. I'm just too tired of living with the rest of the animals in the forest. I need to build a house too. And so he started walking and prayed to the goddess of the river, bless the work of my hands. And then ahead he saw the waterfall, refreshing, the greens, flowers blooming. And then he said, this must be the right place too. And then he got there and he saw a half-built house, remember, the half-built house by the jaguar. He said, wow, goddess of the river must be listening. So he decided to continue building, added stones, added bricks, and built it up like 3/4, and said, oh, I'm tired. I'm gonna go and resign for the day. The next day, the deer came, saw the house almost complete and said, wow, this must be a blessing. The house is almost done. This is awesome. All I need to do is just finish it up with the roof. And then he started building the roof. Almost done. He couldn't paint it. He left it, went. The jaguar came and said, wow, goddess of the river, you must be so on point. Wow, the house is almost done. All I need to do is paint. And then he painted. The next day, the deer decided to move in. And while he was moving in, he told himself, I think I'm gonna divide this house into two. because the goddess of the river had blessed me so much. I want the goddess to live on the other side. So he built a partition, divided the building into 2 rooms, so the goddess of the river could live in one of the rooms. And then the jaguar came later, saw that the house has already been divided, and he said, the goddess of the river must want to live with me. I'll just live on the other side. And so he moved his things and started living in the building. The next morning came, the cock crowed. They stretched, came out of their house happy to live in their dream home. And then they saw each other. Who are you? And then the jaguar too looked at the deer like, who are you? And then the deer said, wait. And then the jaguar said, were you the one who built half of the house? And then the deer said, yes, I was. So they came to an agreement and said, you know what? Let's just live together in harmony. We'll live together in the house. And so they lived together in the house, doing the chores together. Everything was all rosy. Until a day, the deer said, Jaguar, you take care of dinner tonight. Jaguar said, you got it. You know what Jaguar did? Guess what? It's not what you're thinking. Jaguar went, brought dinner home. As soon as the deer saw the dinner, he was like, hey! 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 Oh! 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 You can't believe this. You cannot believe this. The jaguar killed a deer for dinner. So the deer was like, why would you kill a deer for dinner? I'm a deer. That could have been one of my family members. The deer got so angry and walked to the king of the jungle, the lion, to report the deer, to report the jaguar. He got to the king lion and told him, Jaguar killed a deer. Jaguar is going to kill all your family members too. He started planting discord, telling Lion King that the jaguar was a scammer, and started saying all bad stuff, backbiting. And the lion got furious and just killed the next jaguar he saw in sight. And that's how the deer dragged the carcass of the jaguar home, took it home and told the jaguar, here's dinner. The jaguar was so upset, and the jaguar got so afraid. Like, oh my God, the deer can actually start killing jaguars for dinner. Needless to say, bedtime wasn't peaceful. They were tossing and turning and tossing and turning on their beds, scared that they might kill each other for food. And at a point, they just hit the wall at the same time. Boom! And they came up and they said, you know what? This is not gonna work. What's the point of living in a house where there's no peace? This is not going to work. And so they decided to part ways and leave their dream home empty. So that's how they lost their dream home. That's how they lost their dream home. In every folk tale, there's a lesson. Home, unity. Home, unity. Oh, how good and pleasant it is for brothers to dwell in unity. Together we can achieve more. Home, unity. And that concludes my first story. Thank you all for listening. I hope you learned a lesson or two. And now I'm gonna sing a song that is sung in South Africa. When the black community see the police approaching, they sing the song. They call for mama. They say, hurry mama. Khawuleza mama. Khawuleza mama. Khawuleza. Yeah. Khawuleza mama. Khawuleza. Ah. Khawuleza mama. Hiyo mama sheshikano. Jonga 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 na khawuleza mama. sheshitano jonga 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 na kauleza kauleza ma kauleza kauleza mama hiyo ma kauleza mama. I have a second story for you all. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Thank you for staying with me. Call all your friends. We have a second story. Have a second story. Action. Okay. I have a second story for you all. You remember what to do. When I say hello, you say hello. And that's how we start. Hello means story. When I say story, story, you say story. Hello. Story, story. Again, hello is story in my Yoruba language. I'm from the Yoruba tribe. And before I start telling you the story, I need to hear you loud and clear. That tells me that you really want to listen. Let's do this again. Hello. Story, story. Thank you. The title of this story is The Man, the Son, and Their Donkey. The man, his son, and their donkey. Once upon a time in a faraway land, in the village of Kurumi, there lived this old man, and he had a son of his old age. They tilled the land, they farmed, they worked so hard, and they had the fruits of their labor. All the villagers respected this old man, and they all told him, Papa, you work so hard. You need a vacation. Papa said, They said, yeah, Papa, you need a vacation. His son agreed and said, yes, Papa, you need a vacation. So Papa said, son, if you follow me, we'll go. Across 4 villages, over the mountaintops, across 4 villages, we'll go. And so his son said, yes, we will. So they held this big send-off party for them. They packed all their stuff, the food and the drinks that they'll need on their journey, and put it on the donkey. And they said, Papa and son, have fun. And so the next day they set off on their journey, a journey of 4 villages. And they were going, Papa going, and his son beside him, and the donkey carrying the load. And they reached the first village, and all the people of the village started staring at them. Papa was, why are they staring? He was wondering why they're staring at us. After a while, one of the women in the village walked up to him and said, what kind of man are you? What kind of young boy are you? You want to kill the donkey? See how you packed your load on the donkey. Poor donkey. Come on now. Papa said, oh wow, is that it? Is that why you guys are being so hostile to us? So Papa moved all the load, and they carried it, and they just started going on their journey to the next village. And then when he took the load off the donkey, he said his son can get on the donkey, he'll carry the load, and then they continue on their journey. So they started going and going and going until they got to village 2. When they got to village 2, people started hurling rotten eggs and tomatoes at them, and Papa was like, not again, what is it? The Papa and son looked at each other, what's going on? And another villager walked up to them and said, what kind of Papa are you? What kind of father are you? So son. What kind of son are you? You walking, father walking, and the son sitting majestically on the donkey? You don't have no shame? What kind of son are you? Disrespect for your father? Get down! The son was like, oh my God, is that why? Papa, they said I should get down, that I don't respect you. That's why I'm riding majestically on the donkey. Papa was like, okay, get down. I'll get on the donkey. Papa got on the donkey. Son carried the load. They started moving on. The next village, they were getting real tired. They needed food and water badly. They were running out. And they got to the next village, and the people started whispering. All the villagers looking at them whispering. Why are you all whispering? Then a bold person came out and said, you were such a bad father. Such a bad father. Look at you. Your young son, he's walking, and you are on the donkey sitting majestically, and your son is all sweaty and tired. You're not even kind. You're not a kind father. Come on now. And then the papa said, oh, not again. So he got down and said, you know what? We don't even have much, and we're almost at our destination. Let both of us get on the donkey and finish this journey. We're just 3/4 done. We're almost done anyway. So they kept going, both of them on the donkey this time, and they got to the 4th village, and people started laughing. Oh, pointing and laughing. Pointing and laughing. Why are you all pointing and laughing? They were laughing. They were like, stupid father and son, calling them stupid. Stupid father and son. Both of you want to kill the donkey? You don't know that your combined weight can crash that donkey? Why are both of you on the donkey? The father lost it this time. He'd had it up to here. He was seeing the mountaintop of the destination. He just got down, got angry, and started singing. Kò sọ́gbọ́n tó lè dá, kò síwà tó lè hù, kò sọ́nà tó lè tọ̀, tó lè fi táyé lọ́rùn o. He looked at his son and sang the song to him and said, Kò sọ́gbọ́n tó lè dá, kò síwà tó lè hù, kò sọ́nà tó lè tọ̀, tó lè fi táyé lọ́rùn o. The son said, Papa, what does that mean? Papa told him, Kò sọ́gbọ́n tó lè dá means there is no wisdom that you can apply. Kò síwà tó lè hù. There is no action that you can take. Kò sọ́nà tó lè tọ̀. There is no path that you can take that will please everybody. You have to follow your heart. Do what is within you. Do what you know is right within you. Follow your own heart. If you keep listening to people, you will get distracted. Let's go. And then they went home. Lesson learned. Follow your heart. Do what you know is right within you. No matter what you do, people will talk anyway. So do your thing. Do your thing. Do what is right within you. And that concludes that story. I hope you learned a lesson or two. Pass the story on to the younger ones. I have a second song. My song titled Ile. Ile means home. Again, with the message, home is where the heart is. Ile o, ile la bosimi, ile la bosimi yoko. Ile o, ile la bosimi, ile la bosimi yoko. Ile o, ile la bosimi, ile la bosimi yoko. Ile o, ile la bosimi, ile la bosimi yoko. Yeah. Il est la bossimi yoko. Il est oh. Il est la bossimi. Il est la bossimi yoko. Il est. Il est la bossimi. Il est la bossimi yoko. Il est oh. il est là-bas, c'est mi, il est là-bas, c'est mi, yoko. Home is where the heart is. Home is where the heart is. Home is where the heart is, don't you know? Yeah, home is where the heart is. Home is where the heart is. Where there's love, where there's peace, where there's harmony. Il est là-bas, c'est mi, yoko. Il est là-bas, c'est mi, il est là-bas, c'est mi, yoko. Il est là-bas, c'est mi, il est là-bas, c'est mi, yoko. Il est oh, il est là-bas, c'est mi, yoko. Il est là-bas, c'est mi, il est là-bas, c'est mi, yoko. Il est là-bas, c'est mi, il est là-bas, c'est mi, yoko. Il est là-bas, c'est mi, il est là-bas, c'est mi, yoko. Il est là-bas, c'est mi, il est là-bas, c'est mi, yoko. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Trayvon's stand. Boy with hoodie, boy with hoodie, boy not ready. Boy in dark night, don't wanna fight. Boy with hoodie, boy not ready, boy in dark night, don't wanna fight. Regular store run, boy on cell phone, boy all alone, left daddy home. Boy on cell phone, boy all alone, left daddy home. A man with a gun, a man with a gun, a Zimmerman, a killer man, a Zimmerman, a killer man. Blood, red Skittles, lost to riddle. Florida town, he stood his ground. Trayvon Martin, now underground. All 6 feet. Ritual repeat, all 6 feet. Ritual repeat, there it goes again, the funk refrain. Fallen body, black boy body. Fallen body, black boy body. Almost nobody. There it goes again, that thump refrain. Fallen body, black boy body, almost nobody. A killer man, a Zimmerman. Blood, red Skittles, lost to riddle. Anxious about her depression. Anxious about her depression, depressed about her anxiety. She became obsessed by the mic. She became obsessed by the mic, moved it from its upright stand. She became possessed by the mic, flashed red eyes in sudden command. She became obsessed by the mic, tossed that mic from hand to hand, spit a new tune like a reggae band, pace that day from left to right, flip that script from out of sight, page from left to stage to right, flip that script from page to page, fired like a soldier dropping live grenades, spit from mic in a manic rage, possessed by the words of her choice, obsessed by the echo of her voice. She became blessed by the mic, audience helpless, traumatized, hypnotized. Message misaligned, but verified. Rolled up front, fully sanctified. She became micmatized. Anxious about her depression, depressed about her anxiety. Anxious about her depression, depressed about her anxiety. She became micmatized.
Today, I feel the magic as if anything I think of can be manifested. And I have many things I want to bring from the spirit world into this earthly realm. And one of the first things I want to manifest is protection. I manifest protection of African and African American people who are being slaughtered in record numbers by those who claim to serve and protect. But blacks get tased, black eyes, and broken necks, while reason we can't breathe, our rights get severed at the knees. And I pray the next time an officer friendly attempts to use excessive force that his gun jams and his cardiac arrest in his chest before his bullets rip into the chest of a naked black man on his knees with his hands reaching out for help. And I manifest that your wife does not get health care benefits when you're arrested for murder. I manifest that she has to endure the welfare line of shame you sentence your victims' children to. A fatherless life, a motherless life, a sister, brother, cousinless life. This ain't a game. I manifest justice against all who got away with rapes, lynchings, and ungodly acts against a people who never asked to be here. A people you brought in chains and kept in handcuffs. Enough is enough. And I will no longer march for your justice. I see it was never made for us. And I will no longer sit in your pews at your churches. Your salvation was never made for us. And we knew better, but you demonized our culture, beat our language out our backs, forsook and took our traditions from us, and then came seeking our elders for herbs when Billy got pertussis. I manifest a revelation of all the ancient knowledge that you've stolen from us. I manifest that it is revealed in our dreams, day and night, our secrets that you have hidden. May our ancestors whisper them back into our ears through Oya's skirts. May we find our way back to our balance in tune with our earth. And I manifest peace. Peace for this planet, who is being destroyed and mutilated by the hands of her children. I pray Mother Earth can find peace. Peace in this poem, even as the mutiny persists against her. And I manifest reparations for all the black, brown, and yellow people of the planet who have suffered unjustly at the hands of savages, who respect nothing but blood, money, and lust here, who take lives with no fear, who proclaim they are superior to the point of extinction. And I did not mean to write, but these words which chose to come, they write me, and rightfully, cause I needed to use my energy to manifest equality, and all and always will be an everlasting destiny for me and all my Akebelanians to use all of our weaponry, unseen and seen, to fight back. No more peace or complacency until we are liberated and completely free. Ashe, 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 oh.
My skin is black. My arms are long. My hair is woolly. My back is strong. Strong enough to take the pain, inflicted again and again. What do they call me? My name is Aunt Sarah. My name is Aunt Sarah. Aunt Sarah. My skin is yellow. My hair is long. Between two worlds, I do belong. My father was rich and white. He forced my mother late one night. What do they call me? My name is Sophronia. My name is Sophronia. Sophronia. My skin is tan. My hair is fine. My hips invite you. My mouth like wine. Whose little girl am I? Anyone who has money to buy. What do they call me? My name is Sweet Thing. My name is thing. They call me sweet thing. My skin is brown. My manner is tough. I'll kill the first mother I see. My life has been rough, and I'm awfully bitter these days because my parents were slaves. What do they call me? My name is Peter.
The mercury is up and cold drinks fill the cups. In the concrete jungles across the USA, the heat is having its say. Sandals, t-shirts, thin clothes, no clothes, AC, convertibles, and watermelon. Yeah, watermelon. Black folk be eating watermelon and the seeds, spending money on wants and sacrificing needs. The sound of music blares. The sound of music blares. And there's greenery everywhere. Downtown, the sound of iron doors slam. Mothers pacing the floor. Babies in jail, and they gotta meet the bail. Woo! It's hot as hell. And just before the fruit turned ripe, Lil Tony hit the pipe, died, and we cried. Victims of summer madness. Will this lead to winter sadness? Will this lead to winter sadness? This head contains many rhymes, as many as there are people committing crimes, standing in soup, welfare, unemployment, and HIV testing lines. And HIV testing lines. Folks partying in the clubs and neighborhood bars. Homeless people sleeping under the stars. Summer solstice babies are born, and every day, folks are discovering the rose bears thorns. Woo! It's hot as hell. Some folks stay cool by dipping in the pool. Children out of school, hanging out with the pack. I wonder how many would make it back. They tell me it has nothing to do with being black, but I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Will this summer madness lead to winter sadness? The mercury is up and cold drinks fill the cups. In the concrete jungles across the USA, the heat is having its say. Sandals, t-shirts, thin clothes, no clothes, AC, convertibles, and watermelon. Yeah, watermelon. Black folk be eating watermelon and the seeds, spending money on wants and sacrificing needs. The sound of music blares, and there's greenery everywhere. Downtown, the sound of iron doors slam. Mothers pacing the floor. Babies in jail and they gotta meet the bail. Woo! It's hot as hell. Woo! It's hot as hell. Some folks stay cool by dipping in the pool. Children out of school, hanging out with the pack. I wonder how many would make it back. They tell me it has nothing to do with being black, but I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Will this summer madness, will this summer madness, will this summer madness lead to winter sadness? Will it? Tired of feeling like a stray cat fending for self by self, trying to put food on the shelf, trying to put food on the shelf. They tell me it has nothing. Yeah. One cold got me, won't let go, yeah. One cold got me, won't let go, yeah. One cold got me, won't let go, yeah. One cold got me, won't let go. You see that black boy over there running scared? His old man's got a problem. He done quit his 9 to 5 to drink full time. Now he's living in a bottle. You see that black boy over there running scared? His old man's got a problem, and it's a bad one, yeah. He pawned off damn near everything. His old woman's wedding ring for the bottle. And this is what he told me. Come on, don't you think it's a crime when time after time after time living in a bottle? In the bottle, yeah. You see that sister sure was fine till she drank that moonshine from the bottle. Come on, yeah, I seen her. Her old man committed a crime, he's doing time. Now she's living in the bottle. Come on, yeah. I seen her on the avenue all by herself. She sure needs help from the bottle. I seen her. Preacher man tried to help her out. She cussed him out, hit him in the head with a bottle. And this is what she told me. Come on, don't you think it's a crime now? When time after time after time living in a bottle. Yeah. Break it on down, break it on down. Said one cold got me, won't let go, yeah. One cold got me, won't let go, yeah. One cold got me, won't let go, yeah. One cold got me, won't let go. You see that gent in a wrinkled suit, damn near almost lost his cool from the bottle. He was a doctor helping young girls along till they wasn't too far gone from their problem. I seen people dollar legal, said what you doing, man, it ain't legal. Now he's in the bottle. I seen her at the park every day, trying to chase her bitches away from the bottle. This is what he told me. Come on, and don't you think it's a crime now? When time after time living in a bottle. Get it, Scales.
out there looking for me, you know where I'm bound to be. In the bottle. If you out there looking for me, you know where I'm bound to be. In the bottle. $1.09, get a bottle of wine. $1.09, get a bottle of wine. $1.09, get a bottle of wine. $1.09, get a... That's real cheap nowadays. Yeah, in the bottle. Said if you see somebody on the corner looking like a goner, it's probably me. If you see somebody on the corner looking like a goner, it's probably me. Break it down. All I want, all I want, all I want is the dirty bottom. Yeah. I just can't get away from the bottle. Got to have it. You know I want it. Yeah. Shibba-dibba-boom. Skum-kum-kum-kum. Shibba-dibba-doo. Grooving at you at light speed. We're gonna take it a little slow for you. Put something nasty in your ear so you'll like it. Yeah. If you're really digging it, West End is the funkiest side of Atlanta. We got all sorts of artifacts over here. Some of your best kept natural secrets lie somewhere between Ralph David Abernathy and Joseph E. Lowry. Yeah. What you say, Alex? Hey, if you want me to stay, I'll be around today to be available for you to see. When I'm about to go, and then you'll know for me to stay here, I've got to be me. You'll never be eaten down. That's what it's all about. You can take it for granted and smile and count all the planes I'm gone. Forget about reaching me by phone. 'Cause girl, I promise I'll be gone for a while. But when you see me again, again. I hope that you have been the kind of person that you really are now. I've got to get it straight. How could I ever be late when you're the woman who's taking up my time? Hey, how could I ever allow? 'Cause I'm wondering how I could get out of pockets for fun. But when you know that you never know to, yeah, number one is just gonna be number one. Said I'll be good, I'll be good. 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 Said I'll be good to you, babe. Said I'll be good to you, baby. Said I'll be good to you, baby. Yeah, I'll be good. I really wish I could. I get this message over to you now. Talk to him. Ha. You caught me smiling again. You caught me smiling again. You caught me smiling again. You caught me smiling. I love you, I love you, I love you, yeah, 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 yeah. I love you, I love you, I love you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Stop, boop, boop, shabba-da-doo-go.
There'll come a time when the world won't be singing, flowers won't grow, oh Lord, and the bells won't be ringing. to save the world that is destined to die. Oh, when I look at the world, it fills me with sorrow. Children today, are we really going to suffer tomorrow? Oh, what a shame. Such a bad way to live. Oh, who is to blame? And we can't stop living. Oh, live your life. But let live everybody. Live life for the children. Oh, for the children. Oh, let's save the children. Let's save the babies. And if you wanna love, you got to save the babies. Oh, you gotta feel it now. Save the babies. All of the children, but who really cares? Who's willing to try? Yeah, to save our world. Yes, to save our sweet world. To save a world that is destined to die. Oh, ba-do-bop, ba-do-bop, ba-do-bop.
highest